right now in 1998, as I'm sitting in my dorm room on a very hard socialist mattress and waiting for my dorm mate arriving. And I'm pretty exhausted after coming back from several different trips from Europe. I have been in Italy, England, and in Netherlands for about 7-8 months, each country. And I'm pretty exhausted. I'm done living out of my suitcases. I want to be in my dorm room and finish what I started, get done with my master's. So she just barges through the door and says, "Oh, did you see the post? There's another post. You can go to the United States for 18 months. You know English." Yes, I do. You know, just kind of let it fly by my ears. But that little travel bug, in 2 days, didn't let me forget about that post. So I went to look at the post, and 2 weeks later, I applied. And I got through the interview, and there I was. I was able to apply for a visa. Well, in a post-socialist, post-communist country, it's not too easy to get a visa. So you gotta go through certain little steps to get those stamps to get your visa. So the first one, I had to prove that, yes, indeed, I was able to tell and speak more than yes and no in English. I accomplished that, so I got my first stamp, and there you go. You go for your second stamp. And there you had to prove that you were free of any infectious diseases. So you've gone through your x-rays, yes, you do not have TB, and your vaccination is up to date, and there you go, you got your second stamp. Yes, I did go through and pass that test. And then you got your third stamp, making sure that you were not part of any Communist Party activity. I was 5 years old when the Communist Party ended. No, I was not part of that. And then I got that stamp too, and then the fourth, I really had to bat my eyelashes and throw my blonde hair back and kick my heels, and I got my fourth stamp, and there you go. I got my visa. And then I had to kind of try to figure out what sort of wardrobe Americans wear. So I sat down and watched several episodes of Friends. And then I went out, bought all my designer outfit and my high heels, and I stuffed 4 suitcases full of them. And I was ready to board that 3-story high jumbo plane, which will take me over across the ocean. Pretty much the first one in my whole entire generation, down to the caveman. And I arrived in Washington, D.C., and I saw big roads, big cars, big people, and I had big dreams. So I went to the orientation, and it was great to learn a little bit more about the culture and learn a little bit more of vocabulary, like, watch out! Ouch! But later on at the farm, I knew why they chose those 2 words. You know, slamming tractor doors and crazy cows running across the field. Yeah, they came handy. Then I was a little bit scared, I have to admit, and I'm not sure what scared me more. You know, my supervisor's sadly grim face, or what she said. "Oh, you're going to Maine?" I was randomly selected to go to a random place. And she said, "Well, let me tell you something about Maine." Well, that's actually one of the 50 states, but it's not really like United States. Right. Then she said, it's kind of like backwoods. Okay, there was 2 words I needed to look up at that point. Backwoods. And then I had to kind of search for Maine. I have to admit, even if I thought my geography was pretty good, I missed that state somehow. So let me see. I was searching for Maine. Keywords: Stephen King, Castle Rock, Cujo, Pet Cemetery, a very weird boot on wheels, kind of like a funny-looking red crab. So I said, all right, you know, I'm a tough Eastern European, and I will prevail. Even if I catch rabies, somebody tried to chop my legs off, I will make it. So I did try to get on the next plane, and the next plane was a little bit smaller than the 3-story jumbo plane, but still a pretty good size jet. And then that took me actually to Boston. And in Boston, I did have to look for Portland for a while. But then there, I had to get onto this really tiny plane with 2 engines, with 1 row seating in the middle. I felt like, you know, those Matryoshka games. There's the big jumbo plane, and then the smaller one, and the very tiny one, and I'm right in the middle, kind of scared at this point. And then Mother Nature really wanted to give it to me one more time. Well, we flew right into this gigantic storm. I mean, lightning bolts were flying. We were right under the cloud. And peanuts were flying. And champagne was spilling. And the woman in front of me was just grabbing the seat. I could see white knuckles. I'm pretty sure my fingerprints are still in the seat as well. But we did make it. We landed. And then I was lugging my four suitcases and waiting for the farmer to arrive. He did arrive in a very funny-looking khaki overall, said Carhartt. And I'm pretty sure he wore that Carhartt overall in the past 30 years, continuously. And then he had his baseball hat on from Boy Scouts. And I dragged my 4 suitcases to a 1985 Ford pickup truck. Yeah. And I shoved my suitcases full of designer clothing and high heels right on the flat bed of that truck. And I sat in and I was hoping that my destination is just going to look so much different. And then we pulled in after a 2-hour drive to 1850 antique farmhouse driveway with a broken down barn on the side. And I got out, and I wheeled my 4 suitcases through the mud and got into the house. And I was seated on a couch, which was completely covered with duck hair. And I sat down on the corner in my nice little dress and my curled up hair. And at that point, I wasn't sure if I should be crying, call my mom, or laugh. So I started to laugh hysterically, and I was laughing through a foggy, very rainy, cold, extremely muddy June. Like every day it was raining. And I was reading, I was planting, and I was going to Rennie's for rubber boots and Carhartt. And by the time the sunny, warm July came, with the boom, a big boom of fireworks, I actually started to enjoy running barefoot in the grass. And my hair was flying wildly, and I was happy to find out that red, funny-looking crab is actually a lobster. And I loved cracking lobster shell, eating fresh, wild, Maine blueberries. And you see, I wasn't planning to stay, but I did. I wasn't planning to find love and fall deeply in love and have 2 children. And I feel that I found a community here, which is very supportive, and I wasn't planning on that either. I feel that my husband, who passed away very recently, found his final destination. But me, I'm not sure if this is my destiny to be here or it's just another destination.